Welcome back to my purple couch, where power sits, truth speaks, and nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, is off limits. I'm your host, Dr. Nabila Fash. Today, we're really going there. I want everybody to be open minded about this topic. We're going to be talking about success and celibacy. Oops, I said it. Yeah, that word, celibacy. The taboo, the truth, the power of choosing abstinence. You heard me right. Yeah. Not because you're waiting, but because you are building. Because maybe not every woman out there is tasty for the D. Some of us are married to the mission. Let's talk. So let's talk about the misconception of celibacy. Here is the thing. When a woman says she's celibate, the world assumes it's punishment. Oh, you're waiting for a man. You're bitter. You're not desirable. Why are you waiting? No, darling. Waiting is alignment. Success, it brings clarity. It filters out the distractions. And many of us, that clarity includes the decision to pause intimacy and protect our energy. You're understanding, right? You're getting me? Yeah. So we need to protect our energy by pausing intimacy. Yes. We are not avoiding love. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we are avoiding love. I'm not saying, oh, we are avoiding the men. Of course, we love the men. But we are only avoiding nonsense. Yes. Nonsense. What does not add to us, what does not have value, no addition. Most of them is only subtraction or even taking away your energy, your purpose, your focus. Why would you need that? So this isn't about shame. It's about sovereignty. There's no shame in the game, right? So let's talk about the power in the pause. Because let's not lie, that thing is really nice, right? Intimacy is nice. Intimacy is good. But sometimes the enjoyment of 5 minutes or 10 minutes can cost you your whole life, your whole future. So please, when successful women decide to choose celibacy, it isn't weakness. No, it's actually power. Do you know what it means to tell yourself that no, even when your body says yes? Your soul says, I want it, but you're saying no. That means you have power over your body, over your mind, over your soul. That's another different kind of flex, if you ask me. And it's not, it's not easy loving yourself. And to love yourself is to be able to say no to certain things, is to be able to starve yourself of things that you think you need, because sometimes it's just your brain telling you you need it. You don't even need it. It's like when you're fasting. Have you ever felt this way when you're fasting? Normally, when you are not fasting, you could go till maybe evening without eating and you'll be okay. But the moment you say to yourself, I want to fast, once you wake up in the morning, before 10 a.m., you're so hungry, you want food, and you're thinking, why is it like this? You see, that's how the devil plays with your mind. And also, psychologically is what is actually happening. Like, it's playing your mind, your brain is saying something. So sometimes we don't even need intimacy, but something in us is telling us we need it. We need it. We need it. Oh, maybe it's only when I'm intimate with that person, that's when the person will love me more. It's only when I'm intimate with that person, that's when I feel alive. I've heard people say to me that you even get that excuse my French, that down there gets fault when you're not using it. They said it's like an engine, you need to oil it. What says things like that? Like, seriously. I've had a friend kind of even sent me some funny things before, just because, you need to oil down that place. But let's get back to the real topic. There is power in reclaiming your body, your focus, your time. It just hits different. You feel different. You feel alive because you're creating better. And when you're creating better, you attract better and you become better. You become a better human. You now start realizing that intimacy is sacred. Your body is sacred. The body of your partner should also be sacred. So not everyone deserves an access to that version of you. Once you know that, then you wouldn't even be bothered about who is touching you and who is not touching you, or the engine that needs to be oiled. Right? Are we enjoying this conversation, or should I tone it down or take it back up? Right? Oh, someone says take it up. Okay, I will. Let's now talk about these double standards. Yeah. So when a man says I'm celibate or I'm focused on purpose, they actually praise that man for being disciplined. Oh, that man, very disciplined. He says he's going celibate. He's not doing this. He's being focused. But when a woman says the same thing, she becomes bitter. She's bitter. She's so lonely. She's doing too much. What is even that? Then maybe, God forbid, you now react in a crazy way when when there is something going wrong. They will say, it's because she has not had some in a long time. It's affecting her brain. Come on, does that side and the brain do? Okay, I think they connect anyways. Let's not do biology. But, I don't think a woman is bitter or lonely or even desperate, or they are doing too much when they choose celibacy. Why don't you see it as a woman being disciplined too, or trying to build or trying to focus on their life goals, mission, vision, and not wanting to get distracted by that? I'm not saying it's bad. If you have an amazing partner, please go on, enjoy intimacy. Just know that you need to be careful when you are getting that enjoyment that could cost you your life or your destiny. And I also feel like a woman's worth is not tied to who she's laying next to, because let's not go there. Or should we go there? I think we should go there. This thing called intimacy is almost like the cheapest thing right now. It's everywhere. You look on the street, it's there. Even at home, it's there. Like, it's everywhere. So what's so special about it? It's like when a beautiful woman feels like I'm being pursued and being chased by every man, and she accepts everybody's request. What does that make her? You answer. I don't need to answer you. So I think that, when you are building, when a woman is building, when she's healing, because some of us, we are not fully healed, but we are jumping to the next person, and you're now getting attached again to the next person. Why don't you pause, sister, and heal? Why don't you, think of what you're building? Why don't you just take a break before that next relationship, before that next intimacy? And don't get me wrong, you can have a relationship with intimacy without penetration. I think it's possible, because intimacy is deeper than penetration. So please, let's look at women that have chosen celibacy. Let's look at them with respect. It's another different kind of flex, to be able to say no, I am not doing this, to be able to control your body even when when the hormones are saying, I need it, I want it, and you're saying, calm down, you're not getting anything, and you stick to it. Celibacy, again, doesn't mean you're not desirable. It means you are discerning, and there's a big difference in that. Right? Should we go on? I think so. Yeah, enjoying this. So let's talk about the spiritual layer that comes with celibacy. Because some people, it's not even about building for them. It's not about evolving. It's just being spiritual. Some of them, they've taken their spirituality to that next level. and they feel like if I'm being spiritual, then I should stay celibate. You can't judge them, because if you're spiritual, you will know that there are principalities and power, and who you let in, also matters. It goes deeper than what you see, and is exchange of energy. You might think it's exchange of pleasure, but it's actually exchange of energy. So what if you transfer your good energy, and in return the person is transferring their bad energy into you? So some women see beyond the intimacy. They see it as a journey, a spiritual journey. It's about not letting your temporary moment cloud your permanent assignment. It's about alignment, and it's also about peace. A lot of women have chosen their peace, that they take their spiritual journey is what is important to them beyond every other thing. And if you're really spiritual, you will understand that you cannot hear divine instruction in a noisy entanglement. So when you are entangled with something, there is no way you can hear your divine instruction, because sometimes your divine instruction needs you to be pure, needs you to be holy, needs you to have clarity. You must have clarity, so you can see, you can hear, and you can even know when to take your next step. Are we taking it to the church? I think so. And sometimes, your spirit is restless. Sometimes you don't even know why your spirit is restless. It's because your body is saying yes, but your soul is saying no. That's why your spirit is restless. So calm, as my Italians will say, calm down, baby, calm down. Like, calm down, baby, because sometimes all you need to do is just to calm down. Like, you need to choose sacred stillness. And once you choose sacred stillness, believe me, magic happens. And that's for my spiritual girlies. So some people are saying, this one you're talking about, success and celibacy. Are you celibate? It's not for me to answer yes or no. It's just for you to understand that your body is sacred. And sometimes when you choose success, there are a lot of sacrifices that comes with it. And some of the sacrifices might also be you saying no to your bedroom performances. I think this topic is a bit crazy, right? Or should I say tricky? Because some people, even right now in the studio, are already arguing. Like, what are you talking about? And you can guess who they are. The men, of course. What do you mean? Celibacy. So I will not do the do with my girlfriend. I will not do the do with my wife. No, with women that are married, I beg go. You have to perform your duties. Oh, don't come and say Nabila said celibacy because I'm in marriage, I want to be successful, so I need to be celibate. Mba no no. You have to perform your duty as a married woman. This topic is for yourself. If you know that intimacy makes you get distracted, then you can choose celibacy. Some men in the studio now are telling me that that is when they do the do that their brain is always clear. So you can see that. So me, I don't know. Is what works for you, Abi? Every malam has their own kettle. So whatever works for you is what you should follow. But for me, this topic is about successful women and celibacy. And I think we have some questions in the studio. And so I'll be answering some questions right now. So let's see. And if you have your own question, you can put it in the comment. Would answer you at some point. Yep. That's a very tricky question. But for me, I would say it kind of distracts. So when you're chasing success, like I said, there are a lot of sacrifices that you need to make. And one of those sacrifices for a single person that is not in a relationship, I think being celibate would be the best answer. Yeah. Of course, women are judged every day. Women are judged every day, even just by the way they dress, how they look. Then, of course, their sexual life is one for debate. So you can imagine a woman meets a man. The first thing she says to the man is, "I'm celibate." If you hear back from that man, thank God. And even when you hear back from the man, his mission will now be to say, "I'm the one that actually destroyed that celibacy." I conquered her. The difference between intentional celibacy or forced celibacy due to trauma or fear. So intentional celibacy is you tell yourself, "I want to do this. Right now, I've chosen to make my body sacred. I don't want anyone, that would scatter my body or, or feed off my body. I want to be focused. I want to be clear without intimacy." Yeah, and the first one, maybe something bad happened to them through intimacy. Maybe relationship goes wrong, diseases, sickness, different things, and they are now forced to now stay off intimacy. So I think that's just the difference. Yeah. So trauma, of course, can force a woman to be celibate. Not just a woman, even a man. Trauma can force either the opposite sex, both sexes, to become celibate. Trauma does that to all of us. Something I learned about myself during celibacy that shocked me is that I have control over my body, and that intimacy does not define you or your relationship. And there are people that are genuinely interested in you. Maybe they are interested in you because you're brilliant, you're intelligent, not because they need to get in between your legs. So that was actually shocking because, like, the general statement where people will say, "Na lie, you cannot be in a relationship without being intimate." So you'll be shocked with the number of people that are in a relationship without penetration. So is celibacy in Lagos possible, or is it just theory? It's possible. Where do you live? Where do I live? So I think it's really possible. Yeah, maybe you will say, and I don't like giving stats when I do not really know the numbers, or I have not done my research. So definitely, maybe a very little number, but I'm sure there are people that are keeping this movement going. And I know there are people still doing it in Lagos. I know that, yes. So, can a celibate babe still flirt? Or that is spiritual cheating? Of course you can flirt. Flirting is part of the game, right? It makes you feel alive. It makes you feel kind of, yeah, I still got it. I am desirable. Of course, I don't see that as spiritual cheating. What are you cheating? It's not cheating, but maybe if you're in a relationship and you're flirting with someone else, then I would say, oh, that's cheating. But if you're celibate and you are now flirting, what does that mean? Are you flirting to say, "Come get me to your bedroom" or something? If you are just flirting to feel good, if I go out, won't you talk to people like you will talk to people, right? You will be nice to people. Do they write celibacy on your forehead? No, nobody will write celibacy on your forehead, even if you are doing it every day. And I mean 20 times a day, sef, if it's possible. Nobody is even, you're not going, the person that is doing it 20 times a day and the person that is celibate, when they are together, you don't know the difference, do you? So if she says she's celibate and she's still sending voice note at 1 a.m., does that mean she's celibate? Yes, she's still celibate. Are you with her? Yo, you mean she's giving you signal to come over at 1 a.m. to come and do the do? No. Like, so be is it when you're celibate, are you supposed to die your emotions? So if I'm celibate and I'm and I'm also very emotional, I like to speak to my man. I like to, I like reassurance, all them stuff. I like to be mushy mushy, things like that. Does that mean that I'm saying I'm inviting you? That's why when you're celibate, you should understand that there are boundaries to these things. Like, there are things you should be able to do, there are things you should not be able to do, but it does not just turn you to SU now. Abi, I'm sorry for SU people. Does cutting off sex give women the focus men do not want them to have? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because sometimes, you can't think straight, or you might want to get something out there to your partner. And that's like sometimes say, oh, when you fight, you will now sweep it under the rug because you do make up sex. So you forget to deal with the real problem, with the real issue. So you use sex as the solution for a problem. Then after the sex, what happens? The problem is still there. It doesn't take it away. So I feel that question is yes. So sometimes men use sex to distract a woman, to take your focus to something else, and so you would always be at their beck and call. Is celibacy making helping women win, or a coping mechanism? Celibacy is about self-discipline. Is you telling yourself that I'm choosing this over this for whatever reason you chose it. If it's been maybe you're being intentional, you're being forced into a whatever it is, there's a particular reason you choose it. People don't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I choose celibacy. Like, there must be a reason. Somebody, like I said before, somebody might just wake up and be like, I don't think sex is helping my spiritual life. I want to go off sex so I will be able to focus on my spiritual life. Somebody is saying to themselves, like, I don't think I'm getting the best out of my relationship because I feel like my relationship is based off sex. So I want to take that sex off the relationship to see what is left of the relationship. Somebody is saying, I have not fully healed. I need to heal before I start getting intimate with someone else. Another one is saying, you know what? I just don't want men in between my legs anymore. I don't want women to take from me anymore. So for me right now, guys, and I think I've overstretched this topic, and I don't want to be like a broken record just blabbing and talking. For you watching, what is celibacy to you? what what do you really think of celibacy? Do you think is a coping mechanism? Do you think is all a facade, like it's not real? People just say it, but it's not real. It's not possible. I know a lot of you have different opinions about celibacy. So for you, what is your opinion about celibacy? What is your opinion about a lot of successful women right now choosing celibacy over intimacy? So right now, it's over to you. Let me know what you think about this topic. Maybe we can revisit it at some point again. Thank you for sitting in today and watching my Purple Couch. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And remember, your confidence is not tied to who you are laying with. Ciao.